Whether you like it or not, football's going in a direction where everybody is tired, there is too many games to play for the players. It is draining entertainment, but the world's going in a similar way, with artificial intelligence and a technological world. In recent years, Chat GPT is a new online system that scans the internet for everything, anything, anywhere. So with footballers getting overpushed and AI on the uprise, I thought I'd put the two together to see if I could make a team. Scoring goals for fun, making the AI make decisions for us, and taking Chat GPT FC to the world's best status. As yes people, here I am, I'm co-founder and manager of Chat GPT FC. Look at that, look at the graphics. Like I said, we're down here in League 2, but we've actually got a one-star team to start off with. Some very good players, especially in the defensive positions, midfield position. And that is because I asked Chat GPT to give us 1 to 5 stars, and it actually chose 1. So I'll put them in the bottom division with a 1-star overall squad. As yes guys, we're going to be relying on Chat GPT for everything, including our budget, as League 2 teams get 1 to 7 million. So we're going to ask AI what we should get, and that's a very random number. We've got 4.5 million, I guess. But hey, it wanted to get specific. I don't know why we've got an extra £2, but as you can see, I've changed the budget. It's actually less than we initially started with. We did get given 7 million, but I think this team will compete in League 2. As I know we're starting at the bottom, but I expect an immediate promotion here. AI is said to be always improving, so hopefully the team always improves, as there we are in the league. We start at the top, and can we just stay there, please? We're going to have to play my beloved Grimsby this save, as I think the first thing we do right here is go to the Youth Academy. Now, we can buy whatever scout we want, and I'm going to purchase a 5-star Finley Ward. However, the countries we send our scouts to, because we have 2, are decided by AI. As here we go, pick 2 countries. Hopefully these are scoutable, and I think Japan and Morocco definitely are in FC25. However, obviously we need positions, and we can't even pick them ourselves. Goalkeeper and left winger. Okay, that's a little different. If we could maybe get a Suzuki, maybe even a Bono regen, that would help us out big time, as the Japanese scout's going to be the goalkeeper searching one. And in Morocco, we go and look for our left winger. Funniest thing is we actually don't play wingers, but here's the players the scout has found. Now, it hasn't gone immediately for him, but we've got some decent Moroccan talent. But for now, it's all about the main team. I've loaned all those players out, and this is it. We've got 270 rated in League 2. Mitchell and Davis, they're not the youngest of players, unfortunately, but this squad isn't the youngest anyway, but it's good enough for the bottom tier. Feel like League 1 could be trickier, and some good growth in a few players. I even loaned out some of the English ones, but Hachini looks decent. Nadir Naji, who I believe has gone on loan to the Argentinian league. And one of the biggest growths goes to one of our Japanese goalkeepers, Imada. The best current young player we have at the club is this man, Jackson Park, 23. If we could try and take one of these OG players to the Premier League with us, I would love that. And our top scorer is our striker. He's 28 though. Theo White with 23 goals. Elliot Gregory with 12. And so far, it is 100% record for ChatGPT in getting teams promoted. Second in EFL League 2. MK Dons have a lot of money and a lot of good players. Same with Notts County and Wimbledon got promoted. In real life, I couldn't use live points. And I don't believe the season was actually over, but we was definitely confirmed promotion. And we just had to beat my club Grimsby Town, didn't we? That's one result I don't like. I would have rather them get promoted with us, as nowhere near the FA Cup. Hopefully it does come though. Round 4, we lost to Hull City. After Sorry, we beat Arsenal in round 3. I just thought I'd do a little bit of a check. That is one huge result for us. And Coventry made the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City. No giant killing here for us. We lost to Crawley in round 2. And then the Bristol Street Motors. It's a competition we never actually prioritise, and we never do well in it. We finished bottom of the southern section. Disappointing, but you know what wouldn't be disappointing as we carry on this ChatGPT rebuild? Is if you guys subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like, as we're on the race to 60,000 subscribers. subscribers. Whizzed through League 2, but I believe League 1, like I said, is more difficult, and I've gone for a number between what our last budget was and 12 million. And we've got one on the high side. We've got 8.7 roughly enough. That should be enough to forget the academy and actually sign some real-life players this time. As there it is, bang on the money this time. It's a bigger budget than we would have started with. And the way I'm going to be doing signings is, firstly, I'm going to ask for a position, or I might ask straight up for the player. I might ask for a nationality. I'm going to randomize things up, but we're going to start firstly by position asking. I think with just getting into League 1, we should be able to make our first signing, but we don't decide the position. Central midfielder is what the game wants, or the AI wants, and I've got no problem going for a central midfielder, but one thing I actually haven't asked it for, which it should decide, is the formation of the team, because obviously this is all AI. And what is it gonna go with? Okay, it's gonna go with the 4-3-3, which is kind of perfect. There's a load of variants, but I'm gonna stick with the flat because it didn't specify. And that actually frees up another centre mid position alongside Gregory and Williams. So we get to sign any midfielder, but then the next challenge might be more difficult. Or the next signing, I'm sorry, as Lewis Bate relegated with Stockport County. Can't believe they're back in League 2, and I think I'll take him. Our first real-life player to join the ranks here at Chat GPT FC, as that isn't half a big tongue twister, but there we go. He's an EFL captain as well. Lewis Bates, the captain of Stockport County, but the next position is goalkeeper, and for this one, I think I'm going to play the nationality game. Hopefully it gives us one with a decent goalkeeper. Brazilian, okay, it says Brazilians always are decent in the FC FIFA games, which I think is true, but then also I'm going to do two things right now. I'm going to ask it for a suggestion of a signing for a basic League 1 team. Who is a solid League 1 player? Okay, it's given us two. We've got Jordan Williams and Johnson Clark Harris. Oh, and I tell you what, both are affordable. Jordan Williams now at Portsmouth, Johnson Clark Harris at the Millers. And screw it, Johnson Clark Harris is a little old, but I'm going to take him on. And I'm going to take Williams on too. ChatGPT gave us both of these suggestions, leaving us £2 million left. And we still need our Brazilian goalkeeper. So welcome to ChatGPT FC, Gabriel Pereira. And here's me thinking we should have actually gone ahead and gone for playoffs. We literally survived in this division by a point. Mansfield's goal difference is even better than us. Shrewsbury's on par. We were very lucky not to actually go back down to League 2. Despite this squad, which I genuinely think is very good, apart from a left winger, no idea where our actual left winger has gone. It is decent. We've got players like Oliver Mitchell, 6'5" centre-back, and a proven scorer at this level, Johnson Clark Harris. We've even got the youngsters out on loan now, improving. The Moroccans from Season 1, Nadir Naji. Maybe if we changed him to a left winger, we could have the next Hakim Ziyech in terms of Moroccan talent. As terms of talent in our team, our best player's Theo White, scoring-wise. And then we've got Albert Smith, who we could actually change to a left winger anyway, leave our winger Moroccan-wise to actually come in, stay on the right-hand side as a final in London in the FA Cup. Or should I say between two London-based teams, as we lost in round 2 to Oxford United. At least our terrible form, because it's another round 2 exit in the Carabao, won't be affecting our budget. This year, it's won by Liverpool. And then the Bristol Street Motors, at least we did get a point, but it is out. A difficult group with Bradford and Oxford United. However, this team needs to be better. ChatGPT is advancing, and we need to advance through the leagues, not finish 20th again. However, Season 3, what does ChatGPT have in store for us? Pick us another budget. Oh, 10 million. A lot better. This is the stuff of dreams for us. No idea where the spent money has come from, but we have this team to improve upon. We definitely need some central midfielders. As we've got our goalkeeper, I do rate. I think Pereira will come good. He's a Brazilian. Then our defenders, our two centre-backs are perfect. As with just avoiding relegation against 4 teams in this rebuild, I'm going to ask the AI to pick between them 4 teams that went down, and whichever team it picks, we're going to sign a player from, and Blackpool is a good one. recently in the Championship. Somehow now down in League 2, and I have no idea how they've fallen back down again. And we do need a central midfielder, but if there's a youngster with potential here, I think I'd rather take them, as Rob Apter, only 23. Remember this guy from his time at Tranmere, and he should not be playing League 2 football. Also made it that you can see the actual numbers and names on the back of the shirt, as it's only 2 weeks until, well, we're going to try him on the left-hand side, because he is a left-footed player, and that actually knocks our player back down to the bench in Naji. Maybe another loan deal for the Moroccan. And I've talked a big game about getting a central midfielder into the team, but Johnson Clark-Harris is 31. Theo White is 29. None of them were top scorers last season, as the 2 top teams were Huddersfield and Plymouth. And with our ambitions to get promotion, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to pick one of the clubs and they choose Plymouth. However, with Plymouth getting promoted, I don't think we're going to get a player very easily from them. So I'm going to have to be specific. They're going to have to tell me position, and we already have a decent right back in Jordan Williams. And this is the player we're getting, Joe Edwards. He's 35. Plus, I think he's a Plymouth legend. ChatGPT not being too kind to us. However, we've still got 6 million left, or 6.6, so it says 7 really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to ChatGPT to make it up for us. Gives a player worth 5 million in the game. It's actually taking time to think. And the player it's actually giving us is Semi Kilishkoy. He's a striker, left wing, right mid, overall 72. Oh my days. And it's him. I forgot. I couldn't put the face to the name. But welcome to ChatGPT. I'll think our best signing in Semi Kilishkoy. Unreal. We moved him straight to a striker, +5, a 77 overall in League 1. But on the other side, we just had to sign Edwards. He's leaving at the end of the year anyway. He costs money. He's gone down -8. ChatGPT can't decide if it wants to be naughty or nice. Santa Claus will be having words, as this is the team that we actually do have a lot of 70 rated. I'm praying for a centre mid next time, as I have an idea on the challengers. And Kilishkoy, the top scorer, he was joint actually with Theo White. Then Rob Apter, so 2 of our new signings, have done decently. And then Nadir Naji, he's now at a 70 overall. We've got a 76 goalkeeper at 19, and then one at 65. Not bad at all from them, as there's 1 game remaining for most of the teams in this league, but ChatGPT are going to the Championship with a title this time round. And are you surprised with Kilishkoy up front? I'm not. I know it'd be decent, as I didn't bother going to the cup finales. Of course, we were beat to Shrewsbury in League 2, made a semi-final. Huge shout out to them, as Wigan beat us 10-9 on penalties. In round 2 once more, as the Carabao, we lost to Nottingham Forest, and the Bristol Street Motors out of the group stage, but lose to Port Vale. A team we shouldn't have to play again, because we are going to the Championship, and I am begging that ChatGPT gives us midfielders. Great stuff, I'd say, so far. 2 promotions out of 3, and now we're going 7 million to 20 million with the budget. The Championship? Okay, it's a little bit in the middle. 13.4. I guess it's typically above what teams would have at this level after League 1 promotion. And honestly, I want another promotion, but I'm not actually going to be riding on it. I'm not going to do the thing we did last time where we signed from teams that went to the Premier League. However, the Championship is where a lot of Premier League youngsters go on loan. So maybe a Premier League youngster could be added to this squad. So I'm going to say, please give me a Premier League player that needs loan into the Championship. And we've got Carlos Borges from Manchester City. Never actually heard of him. Then Amari Forson, Jamie Donnelly, and Amad Diallo. Now, I would like to have Amad permanently. And only 3 of them 4 are in the game. We've got Amad at an 85. Then Jamie Donnelly and Amari Forson have left their clubs. So if we could actually get one permanently, that would be brilliant. Now, Forson's passing's better, but Jamie Donnelly, is experienced in the championship, it seems. Coventry did quite well last season. We're in desperate need of a central midfielder, and although he'll take some training to get out of that cam position, I'm going to stick him in centre mid, the Northern Irish man on a 5-year deal. As now we are in the championship, we can actually sign worldwide. We're not just confined to England, where most of our signings have actually been from, apart from Pereira and Kilishkoy, so give us a league outside of England. It's going to go with La Liga. Now, this could actually be a bit difficult. Due to the budget of only 7 million, we need to be savvy with this money. And I think it's still going to be a centre mid, because Donnelly's going to take ages to train there. And I think I have the perfect player, perfect for championship level, the 22-year-old Manu Bueno, who looks a Spanish wonder kid. And I tell you what, it isn't the worst looking squad I've ever seen, but it isn't the best. Maybe this could actually go into the playoffs? We shouldn't be fighting relegation like we did in our first season in League One, as Nagy now in the team, the Moroccan, the Ziyech regen. Still not as high rated as Semi's Kiliskoy, as when we reach the Prem, or maybe just next season, we really need GPT to give us a player like that again. One with wonder kid status. Maybe that's a rule we make up next time, as look at that, +5 because he scored 30 goals. The Turkish is amazing, as we actually snuck into them playoffs. 3 points over Bristol City, bottom of them, sure. But I'll fully take that, as in the FA Cup, Tottenham Hotspur beat Newcastle, and in the Carabao, Man City beat Southampton 3-2. We were out in round 3 of both of those, but when you check the championship playoffs, as you can see, we beat Leeds United 3-2 in a comeback, to then beat Hull City. Chat GPT FC, 3 promotions out of 4. We're going through the trapdoor, or not even the trapdoor, but the good door. We're going from League One to the Prem, doing an Ipswich Town, and now AI decides our Premier League. And this is the team. As you can see, Donnelly, we did get changed. He's playing for Ireland, and this, I'm very impressed with the amount of defenders that have stayed for the ride. Mitchell now 30 though, Davies is actually the same, and then Park is a little bit younger. Maybe he could keep going in this save. As now our challenge is to try and dance through the Premier League to the Champions League. However, easier said than done, as our bench still needs a lot of work on it. We need a fullback, and our first aim is obviously to avoid relegation. We've got Sheffield United, Leicester, and Ipswich here. And no offense to those teams, but I think we should be doing better than them, as our budget's between 30 million and 80. A decent number. 54.216. Okay, we should be able to make sign-ins. However, in order to stay in the Premier League, we need to decide our tactical shape, which is something we haven't done yet. We've just depended on our players being good. But now we are in the Premier League, we do need a decent one. Balanced press and wide attack. Okay, I don't know what that is giving us. For defensive approach, it said it wanted its width at 45, and it said it wanted a wide attack, so I'm obviously going to go with wing play. So I'm going to put most players on wide playmaker roles, and wing back roles I want to go wide, like Chat GPT wants us to play. And hopefully this works, as I did mention a wonder kid last season. And now we are in the Premier League, I'm going to say, give us a centre back. Please recommend me a decent one. I don't want to be struggling. And the first one that it comes out with, the wrong club, but Lenny Euro. It's fine, it's okay. The only problem that I have with this signing is he's 38.5 million, and that is a lot of our budget going into one player and a defensive player. Then again, he's very good. Only 22-year-old, he's got 80 pace, 84 defending. Now Jordan Williams at the side of him getting older, but our budget going down naturally. And I think at one point we will have to sell some players, but 13 million. And this is where another special challenge comes in. We've signed some very high up players. We've signed a lot from the English League, so a unique nation outside of Europe, not actually Brazil. What is it going to be? Okay, I actually like that one. The first one's South Korea. Now, this is going a different route. I thought we'd get like Canada, somewhere like Ecuador, but no, Korea. And I've had to make it Republic of Korea. And this man, Hwang, we didn't sign too long ago. I love this man. He is starting to become one of my favorite players in FC to use. Maybe I do use him in another save going forward. He could literally play anywhere. He could even go into the midfield where Donnelly is struggling. Now, I understand that because he's more of an attacker, and I've had him shoved into the defense, as our two youngsters GPT has actually given us have been decent in Gilishkoy and Lenny Yoro. But then we've got Jackson Park. Look at the increase in this man. Rob Apter came from Blackpool. Pereira came from nowhere. Unreal, unreal. But not many goals from Kilishkoy. It's actually come from our day one youth player predicted by ChatGPT in Nadir Naji, and I can't believe what's happening here. We're not in the Champions League. We were miles off, 11 points off, but in our first season back in the Premier League, we do a Wolverhampton, a Sheffield United, whatever you want to call it, and secure Europa League. And unfortunately, next season being in the Europa League will not dictate our budget. ChatGPT gets the final word on that, unfortunately. Still, I'm going to keep coming up with challenges, and that's actually better for Watford. At least this time in the finale, they weren't embarrassed by City. However, we were embarrassed by MK Dons, the team that got promoted in Season 1 with us, and then West Ham United on penalties in round 2 of the Carabao. That eventually won by Chelsea, but I'm hoping maybe next season ChatGPT could deliver continental or domestic success. Don't get me wrong, I like fighting my ways through the league in career mode, but this is when it gets exciting for me, when we are in the Premier League even fighting further. As now I'm going to go between 40 million and 120 million. As you can see, I've already attempted this wrongly, and 87.3 million pounds. Not bad at all, and I think that should set us in good stead for Europe, as objective-wise, the board or the AI want us to reach the quarter-final. Or actually, let's ignore that. Let's actually ask AI what they think we should do. They're going to try and break it down. The expectation at the top: win the tournament or reach the final. Okay, they want a trophy delivered, just like me, who is their manager. And I think in order to try and win it, we need to look at the teams that have previously done so. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT for a random Europa League winning team, and I knew it was going to be the choice. They've won it the most. They've gone for Sevilla, and we need to make a signing from them. Of course, we're looking for a centre mid. Oh my days, and he's too expensive. But Warren Zaire-Emery is there. As the other players are CDMs and also cams, they don't have an out-and-out one. Apart from a Gume, but actually cheaper. I know it's not the right position, but Tanguy Nianzou, 27, 6'3". Our centre-back Mitchell is getting older, so I think this guy is a very good fit. Sure, he'll be on his weaker foot, but now we've got a French partnership, and we need to plug that midfield gap where Donnelly sits. He's only 24 still. Plus, we haven't got a decent striker on the bench, so for striker-wise, I'm going to go lower. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give us a league or a second division. Ignore the spelling, but I'm going not Spain and also not England. It's gone for the Serie B, so we need a striker probably from there. There's always hidden gems, and Daniel Fila. There's proof that Venezia are a second division side, and he's coming to the ChatGPT 11 to try and bench warm. Looking so much better here now, and once Donnelly goes onto that bench, I think we'll be just fine. As now for the final signing. With 32 million pounds, we've randomized the nation. Now we're going to completely randomize the league, which isn't one of the major 5. That's what I'm telling ChatGPT, and it's going to give me the Serbian Superliga? I don't think they're actually in the game. Have they been removed, Red Star Belgrade? I think they have, so we're going to go again. And now it gives us the Allsvenskan. That is definitely in the game, but I don't fancy finding any good players here, or players to take us to that next level, as these two are similarly matched. But I'm going to sign the younger one. He is a Swede called Otton Rosengren. And welcome to English football, mate. He's got injured. He's gone up to an 82, but still, it doesn't help us him not playing. Donnelly must have been back into the squad, which looks like this. We've got now an 89 rated Lenny Yoro. We've got a Naji at 85, and a 91 semi-Kilishkoi. However, the first thing I actually noticed was Mitchell left us. It must have been on a release clause. He's gone to where Nianzou came from. And look at the team of the season. Look at the amount of players from our squad. Gyökeres, Bates, Elise, Min-jae, and Kabasi are the only players not in the team of the season from our team, and that's why we were flying. We literally won the league by 14 points. Man United even getting back up there to show this is actually getting unrealistic. Spurs and Newcastle, big drop-off, especially from Bournemouth. But that is a Premier League title now. AI does not disappoint. And if you're struggling with saves in career mode, I highly recommend just asking them for suggestions. Rarely works, as Man United didn't win the FA Cup though. Our objective was to win a trophy, and Brentford beat us in the FA Cup. Guess you can say we've already won a trophy, and we were actually close to getting another one. You can see the Carabao Cup finale. We lost 1-3 to Arsenal. And then although we're in the Champions League, as you can see, the Europa League phase went well. Sevilla are in here, the team we signed from, but we beat Anderlecht. We then beat SC Braga 5-2 in the quarterfinals. And this could be one of the best seasons ever, beating Olympique Marseille to pick up another trophy. We beat Stuttgart in the final. That is the Europa League alongside the Prem, thanks to Chat GPT. And we didn't even spend all our money. That budget's surely going to get higher next season. And same with the ratings, as I've got questions to be asking Chat GPT now. And look who's winning the Champions League, Leipzig with Williams Jr. Surely we can beat them, especially with being the best team in England. And with this being an important decision, I've gone all capitals between 100 mil and 300. That's on the lower side. Still, it's 184 million pounds. Good budget for just winning the Prem first time, but not for the rule I'm gonna set, as remember the team of the season from last year? It had Chabasi, Min-jae, Elise, Gyökeres. Well, being the best team in England, I want a random one of those three players. Don't be Victor. Oh my days, Chat GPT. We've got Kilishkoi, who I actually stupidly didn't check the goals of. And you go and give us Gyökeres, who is at his ex-club. Still, that burns through our budget in a position we didn't need. Infuriating, as now we've got three very decent strikers. But if Kilishkoi could be a winger again, where he initially joined the club at, it would affect Rob Apter, but it would get Kilishkoi in the team alongside Gyökeres and Nagy, who is a one-day youth prospect, or day one youth prospect, as now we go globally with the team of the season. Over to Ultimate Team, who put out cards for team of the season players who have actually played well in real life. And as you can see, I've asked for a unique FC25 player that got a team of the year that we will have to sign if we can afford one, and Orikun Koiku. What a suggestion. Midfield's probably always been our weakest spots. And here he is at Girona, sitting at an 87 overall. And for proof, here's a picture of his Ultimate Team of the Season card, which hopefully here at the club he can play up to and maybe better than. What a Rolls Royce he is, as look how the league table actually finished. 2 points off Man City. A draw has just cost us the Premier League title, which is painful, but even more painful is losing to Manchester United at this current rate. And then in the Emirates FA Cup, it is Tottenham beating Manchester City. I just want a trophy, as the FA Cup actually was Spurs that beat us. And the Carabao going to Bournemouth. Will we get our hands on a trophy? Grimsby Town made the quarterfinals though of the Carabao. Gotta love that for the Mariners. The team that I do support, as you can see, we missed out on the playoffs with Bayer Leverkusen. And then we both get through. Chat GPT FC beating Dynamo Kiev. And then we moved on to Atletico Madrid. 5-1, 4-1 in one leg. And that was away from home. Look, Villarreal, a clean sweep. Before revenge on Manchester City. 3-1, and Bayern beaten by Bayer. Demeter's in the finale. Chat GPT are going all the way. And I'm actually very surprised that we didn't win the league. What do our ratings look like? You may ask. As you can see, Victor Gyökeres has an injury, but the midfield is very good. Lenny Yoro, Nagy, and Kilishkoi, one of the biggest growths I've ever seen in a player. And that's through me actually coaching him, not through Chat GPT at all. Despite that making all the decisions, I've made the player decisions and everything, as he scored 37 goals, Rob Apter getting game time and scoring 28. As he gets back into the team, does the Scotsman, and we are at Old Trafford, and I'm just hoping we're in our home kit, the black and white one. Would make sense for the badge and everything, and we are in our black and white. I absolutely love this kit, love the badge as Koiku. Love that little bit of speed onto Manu Bueno, our Spaniard. At least the team's kind of diversified. I didn't want a fully English and EFL lineup. Luis Bate is both of those and goes for the shot to try and get us into that lead. And hey, Park is still in the team. Jackson Park. He was here from day one. There's Lenny Yoro into the midfield now. Koiku just glides through it. And I've just realised we've got two Turkish players in Kilişkoy and Koiku. Very weird coinciding. And look at Jackson Park go here. Needs to try and find Kilişkoy. Utterly terrible passing to the middle as now Masson needs stopping. And Masson doesn't get stopped. Great save by our goalkeeper, but danger kind of not averted. For them, I mean, because Koiku through the middle and I was just about to shoot it to make it 1-0. But now Hwang into Manu Bueno. We need an overlapping run from Koiku. Right here, Chat GPT told us to play wide. We're ignoring it and going with Koiku. Might just fall to Naji here if we can put the cross back in. Not falling to us, apart from Luis Bate on the edge of the box. Another brilliant save right here. And Kilişkoy at the back post. It's in the back of the net for 1-0. That is Semi Kilişkoy and a very, very weird goal to score. Don't know how the deflection actually took it in. A scrapper around the box, but look at that for a save. And then the cross, first time shot as well, through the legs of Diogo Costa. Very fine work. I mean, we never gave in. That's all that matters, as we're still not giving in on one goal. Semi Kilişkoy, we know he can shoot a ball or just have a good shot. I need to use my words better than ChatGPT does. As now Bate with a cross in. It's gonna deflect, maybe a header for Koiku. And should he have really done better? I know he's not the tallest of players, but he had the free header, and Bueno has the free pass onto Kilişkoy, but we're not getting a second goal unless we actually start to play properly. And Masson, that is a terrible tackle on him. Could this be a red card for our right back, Juan? Nope, it's only a yellow. And Florian Wirtz is back at Bayer Leverkusen with Pulisic. Makes sense. Americans like to go to Bundesliga teams. Sending the ball into the outer rim as now Semi Kilişkoy out wide onto Rob Apter. Can he get an assist instead of a goal? It still might fall back to Luis Bate here. The captain who could be lifting the trophy. Once the final whistle goes, as we might get another chance, Kilişkoy put through the middle and Bamba with the interception. Referee, call that time. We've done it with Chat GPT FC, and I've actually said the name correctly for once. Semi Kilişkoy with the acrobatics, Diogo Costa with the own goal, crowns us as champions, and I love that Chat GPT colours are black and white, just like my favourite team, and I should have probably put their kit on. Hey ho, might be doing that very soon for a rebuild. There's a little sneak peek for you guys that have stuck around, and if you're still sticking around right now, maybe you want another video, as YouTube recommend you these two.